instructional portion of the video. You can get tabs and backing tracks if you go to my website, www.erichaugenguitar.com. Let me talk a little bit about the guitars and sound effects I'm using today. This is a 1995 Gibson Les Paul Classic. That's right, it's a classic. I am using the bridge pickup, which is stock. I'm going into my board using my Strymon Deco for some crunch, my Strymon Flint for some reverb. Today I am playing through my Silvertone 1484 amp, mic'd up with a Rode NTR active ribbon mic. That's what you're hearing. Now let's learn this cool bendy solo. Alright, so we have this cool droney lick, which truth be told, Jay Bennett is probably doing on a guitar tuned in open G, but let's do it the standard. I'm going to have my G string open. I'm going to hammer on my B string from 6 to 8. That's the first lick, hit it open G. Now I'm going to switch to the other side. I'm going to keep the G open, and I'm going to be going on my 7 to 9 on the D. And land on a 10 of the A string. That's the first lick. And then you could hit both of them or one of them. Then I'm going to do 3 to 5 on the D string with the G droning still. So you get open, and then now I'm on the A string, 0, 2, 1, 0, 3. That's the first thing. And then it goes back again. So same 6 to 8. But now 6 up on that high E. 8, 6. 0 on the G, 3 on the E. So I'm going to make my guitar quieter so you can hear my voice easier. Okay, so 0 on the 3, 3 on the high E, 0 again, 6 to 5 on the B, and then 2, 3, 3. So that was on the B string. That's kind of the open tuned. That's a blend of the dobro and his open tuned guitar. That's just kind of my own take. Now let's get into all the cool pedal steel licks he does. First one, the band is hitting a G7 over F. Jeez, how would you play that? I guess like that. 3 on the D and then 0, 0. And so he is coming from this F and bending it up a whole step. So that is 6, goes up, 7. That's a Mark Knopfler thing. Mark Knopfler does that in Sultans of Swing. So that's because that's the F going up to a G. There's the B. That's the... Yeah, that's a pedal steel thing. And yeah, it's all about clean, full bends. This is not like blues bending. And the note has to really go. And then it does it again. So it does that twice. And then he's still thinking G, because there's a G here. So that's kind of a more standard B.B. King or country guitar spot. My pointer's anchored at the 8, but I'm starting with a 10 on the high E, with a pre-bent 10 on the B. And that's the first part. And then that's on the G string, 7, 9, 7, yeah. Jump way down. So that's on the G string, bending that second fret, which is the A going up to a B. Yeah, these are all great pedal steel type things. 2 goes up, 3 on the high E, and then finally let that 2 out. Then is where it kicks into super mode. He's going to go up the octave. That is so clever. This is where the solo really gets genius and uniquely Jay Bennett. You were going to, that 14's going up, Now instead of going to 13, or sorry, instead of going to 12, like a blues bend, you're actually sneaking in a 13, which is part of the major scale. And that's, yeah, so you get a neat kind of second is what happens. So I think it actually comes from 12. So let's see the first lick, and then it goes up again. That's a classic one. So that is, yeah, it goes up again, and this time, pinky's on the 15, pointer's all the way on the 12. Yeah, that's a good one to work on. Now notice I am hybrid picking to really, which you would do on a pedal steel too, or you'd have claws. Trying to really control who bumps into who, because if you don't, it's not bad, but I don't know, I try and keep it controlled. And then this is the lick that took me 2 weeks to figure out. Because he's moving through various positions of the really, what is that? Major scale? Or is it Mixolydian? I think you could call it just major. All right, so 15 up high on that high E. Pre-bend the 15 on the B. That's the first thing. So 15 pre-bent down, 13, 12, 13 back up. And that's, I think, the thing to think about with this solo or pedal steel type lead guitar playing, that as opposed to blues bends, you start to think of the full scale, and you're like, well, I can bend any of these notes to get to the next one. That's kind of the subtext behind this lesson, is like, if you want to get that bendy kind of style, fill in more notes from your scale other than blues notes and think about how you can bend them to connect. So, we got that far. Now we have a 12, 15 on that high E. Jump back to a 10. So that's a position shift. And then, so 10 on the high E, 13, 12, 10. The 12 is, and again, it's like, I can bend whatever I want. 12 half step bend. That's what he did there. So 12 went up a half step, 10, 12, 10. So then he's finally back to a more comfortable spot, this kind of 8th fret G zone. So that is 9 on the G, 8, 10 goes up, 8, 10 is still up, 10. That's a very pedal steel thing too, the kind of, that you'll hear that in chicken picking all the time. And then get out of it, 8, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, which is kind of makes you think of Allman Brothers, yeah. Let's look at that last lick. That's the hardest part of the solo. It's also the coolest part of the solo. Now, he's going to drop out of that into a much more comfortable kind of low G blues / country zone. 202, 2, and then a 302, 320, 303. That's that lick, and then he connects that to 3, 4, 3, 3. So let's see, let's take that back to, that's the first one. Now, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3 on the B, 2, 1, 0, 3, 2, 0, 3, 5, 0. That second lick. Cool. That's how he gets out of that. Now, the song's going to hit that G7 over F again, so he's going to revisit his. That's the same thing again. That's 6 on the B going up. Tag that 7 on the high E. Go down. This time he adds a 7 on the G at the end. And again, back to this comfortable zone. So that's 9 on the G, 8, 10 goes up. 10 on that high E, and then I love this thing. So that's 13 and 13. 13 on the high E, 13 on the B, 10 and 10, 6 and 6. That's so cool. And then kind of back to this G zone here. So 3 to 4 on the G, 5 on the D, A, hammer on that 3 to 5 there, and then finally a 8. That's an 8 on the B there. Let me think about this thing for a second. So why does this one work? Well, I guess because if you're on a G7, that's a F, and that is a C bending up to a D, which is chord tones. We know that this, which is G, B, D, so those are chord tones too, a D and a B going down to an A. And this, well, that just makes sense because that's a blues. That is, I find interesting. Yeah, there's a lot that's interesting in this. What's it do? I mean, really, you could take any one lick from this and spend a month working on it. Boy, there's some slick licks in that one. Rest in peace, Jay Bennett. Great guitar player. Really, really value his contributions to Wilco and music in general. Take your time with it. There's a lot of good ideas floating around in those connection points of those pedal steel kind of things. Good luck. Thanks for watching.